A GM doesn't have to be a rule keeper for a table. There can be a player that is the rule keeper. Just think about it for a second. If a GM's entire shtick is making sure a game runs and running a game smoothly, understandably, they're going to want to check into the rules every now and then. But in the middle of combat or whatever, instead of the GM pausing everything and trying to go through and find this one obscure rule that this one player is using, there can be another player at the table who's doing that kind of stuff. Well, that's a rules lawyer. No, not necessarily, because a rules lawyer would specifically be somebody who's going out of their way to ensure that this is the rule that should be followed, not finding the ruling for the GM to make the decision. And I didn't realize I had somebody like that at my table until one day when we were doing combat, they were building a Polar Master fighter, and I had never ran that before. I never messed with that as a GM at all. So as I'm in combat and they start pulling out these different things, I'm like, hold on, can you look up the rule book and find that stuff for me and get back to me so we can discuss that? And sure, we went through the next couple rounds of combat until then, and when we got to their round again, we looked it over, we decided on the ruling, and yeah, it all worked. It all was stuff that we were okay with as a table. But I just needed that other player to look into that information for me so I could keep running the game. I don't know, has anybody else thought about that? And have you thought about checking out the new Pride merch that I got? Self-plug, you know where to find them.